Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a guide showing you absolutely every single synergy for Ana with literally every single other hero. Originally, this is going to be every single hero with every single other hero, but instead of making a 3-hour long video like that, I decided it would be better to split it into a lot of little videos, which should make it more manageable to digest all the information. As this is the first video, we'll talk about how the series will work from now on. Every week, as I'm currently planning it, will be another hero, of course aside from the regularly made event and upcoming hero videos, and we'll go through the whole entire cast of Overwatch while doing it. First on the list we have Ana. Now Ana has lots and lots of synergies with just about every single hero that I can think of on the spot. She has a few tactical moves with her teams, but a lot of it is comparing the power of who she's nanoing and lots of numbers included. Honestly, it's a little bit crazy, so let's get started. First off, we have Bastion. Now, Bastion as a hero mostly has to stay seated to be able to be effective. Ana's healing output, especially on a target who's basically impossible to miss, is quite ridiculous. Use this to your advantage to keep your Bastion up. Bastion is also your best option to nano boost most of the time since his damage is stupid no matter what mode he's in. He can drink up a nano anytime you have it, basically meaning you never have to hold on to it. Bastion's high DPS also means he can melt just about any squishy you sleep before they can fully get up. Next we have Brigitte. Her best qualities are her ability to protect you, so be sure to stay close to her. If you both work together, you can have a burst of almost 300 damage on a slapped enemy and leave them with an anti-heal too. Don't forget your nade with her radius healing can give up to 24 healing per second on allies that are naded, and with Rally you can create a total stack of 39 health points per second, just a little bit less than Lucio's Amp It Up. Moving on, we have Deva. When diving in, Ana's healing is one of the best things that Deva can ever get. Remember that Deva has an amazing burst potential, making her one of the best nano targets when she's dealing with backline heroes. Just try not to nano her if she plans on using her self-destruct, since for whatever reason that just does not increase the damage of the explosion. However, if you do nano her after she hits Q, it will increase the damage of her explosion to 1500, which is pretty good for getting rid of enemy Rhine shields and pesky roadhogs who think that they will be able to survive it. Next up is Doomfist. Having a competent Doomfist is a really good nano potential, but remember that Doomfist, like Genji, is really hard to heal because of his sharp and irregular mobility. When your Doomfist is planning on using his ult, remember that you can only nano him before his Meteor Strike. This is usually really helpful since his ult is often one of the easier ones to move out of the lethal range from. The nano will also let him generate max shielding no matter who he hits with it, basically. Genji, as we said earlier, is one of the harder heroes to heal because of his movement. When you want to nano Genji, make sure you have an agreement with him to dash into the air, making it much easier to target him. Obviously, he is one of the best nano targets even without his ultimate. Hanzo, surprisingly enough, is actually the worst nano target in the game after his dragon nerf. If we recall back to that patch a couple months ago, Hanzo's ultimate can no longer have its damage increased by any effects whatsoever, so remember that. No nanos for Hanzo. Sorry, Hanzo. He's almost as hard to hit as Genji, but let's be honest, you shouldn't have a Hanzo on your team anyway. Where did that come from? Whoa, wow. That was weird. Whew. Junkrat is probably one of the best nano options you can have for the same reasons as Bastion. His damage is just stupid, and nano also works on tire, meaning the lethal radius is 50% larger for squishies. Not to mention that just in general it lets him drop 180 damage per bomb, and that seems like a good enough reason to me. Lucio is kind of similar to Brigitte in that his healing while amped up with nade is truly insane. Although he can't protect you as well as she can, he can more or less keep you alive until someone notices that you're dying. There's never a reason to boost Yo except maybe for the meme, and then suddenly there's always a reason. But again, please don't boost the frog. Always remember to nano High Noon. Please! The targets lock on faster, and High Noon, when held on for long enough, can break through Ryan's shield, allowing you to still kill people who are hiding behind it. The full 6 seconds of High Noon will allow McCree to end up with a whopping 2,400 damage per shot when he is nanoed. I don't think I need to talk more about it. I think I have made my case pretty clear. And even if McCree gets knocked out of his High Noon during any whatever dumb stun thing that exists every 3 seconds in this game, still, his damage output is really good if you have a decently accurate McCree. Now, there's not much to say about Mei at all since her ultimate is not the best to nano and she's sort of a meh target in general for nano. I mean, when she uses Blizzard, try not to nano anyone since the kills are almost guaranteed anyway, and you don't want to throw your ultimate economy out of balance. And by that I mean if the enemy's using a Zen, and your Mei uses her Blizzard, you can guarantee that that Transcendence is going to pop in, and you do not want to waste that nano. Mercy, oh Mercy, what would we do without your nerfs? How can Ana possibly be effective with Mercy? Well, protect Mercy by sleeping whoever's trying to dive her for a start. Also, surprisingly, it's a viable option to nano your Mercy while she's using her ultimate, only because the damage reduction allows her to heal back most of the damage dealt to her pretty much instantly. Also, her pistol does 30 damage a shot when she's nanoed, in case you're wondering. That is 4 shots to the face on any squishy. I'm just saying, it's not a good idea, but it is one if you're ever really desperate. As for Moira, she can go pretty much Super Saiyan on that Kamehameha when she's nanoed. Although it doesn't give her any extra healing, goddamn can it win you team fights with that 105 damage per second over 8 seconds, leading to a grand total of 840 damage, which is more than enough to kill any tank by herself except maybe Roadhog or Wrecking Ball. If you end up nading your team in a grab and working together with your Moira as she slips out and uses Coalescence, you can slap down a very spicy 210 healing per second on that bad boy. Pretty much team saving, really. Orisa is one of the best stacking heroes you can give your nano to. Using nano on Orisa with her bongo down with her fortify up makes her one of the most terrifying things that this video game will ever give us. In total, she will take only 25% of the damage dealt to her. No, I'm just joking, it only caps at 50% damage reduction, which sucks, but it doesn't really matter. It just means that she can save her fortify for later even. And if you thought that was crazy enough, well, with the bongo and nano, she will end up dealing a grand whopping total of 22 damage per shot, shooting at 12 rounds per second, also known as 264 damage per second. Not even including a Mercy, which would raise that even higher to 303 damage per second, which is even higher than Bastion's, although it's only by 3 damage per second, but still, god damn, that is terrifying. Pharah is a good nano target for just about 100% of the time, but it's a gamble to use it while she's using her ult, considering how many goddamn stuns there are in this game. Remember, you're also like the only person besides Mercy in the entire game that can give her adequate healing when she needs it, so keep your eyes to the sky if you want to keep her alive. Although Death Blossom isn't as good as it used to be with Nano, it's still pretty good, but don't prioritize it over ults that can't be stunned out of. What you should be doing instead is making sure your Reaper has nade healing boost whenever he's going in, because a self-heal makes your life much easier to just chuck it and forget. Don't actually forget about him though, because he's actually one of the likeliest characters to just die in his effective range, but you know what I mean. Also, call him over if you slap a squishy, since one well-aimed headshot can deal 280 absolutely freaking ridiculous damage. Reinhardt has arguably the best synergy in the game with Ana. Reinhardt generally needs lots of healing, which is easy for you to provide, but also nanoing him allows him to kill any enemy in the game with his simple combo. Just to be clear, only nano your Rein when you clearly see that he has made good contact with the Shatter, since if he whiffs it like an idiot, at least there won't be 2 idiots on your team. Hog has this sort of love-hate relationship with Ana, because on one side he can self-heal, making your life easier, but on the other side sometimes Hog players like to use their heal even when they don't need it. Like, excuse me, trying to get my ult and pad some stats here, but that's fine, use your heal or whatever you want, sure, it's fine. Jokes aside, make sure you keep a constant stream of healing pumped into him during Hold Hog, because you don't want to be that healer. A good nano can work, but in my opinion, you should probably save it for a different teammate. Nano Visor is a really nice way to get some work done, but at the same time it requires a little bit of coordination. Make sure your soldier is in a nice position on the high ground where you can see him and where he can see past any shields. His healing is generally enough to make sure he doesn't die with a 50% damage reduction, so you probably don't need to worry about him that much. Basically, just don't touch Sombra. Let her do her thing, and give her a heal if she needs it after EMP. Nanoing her is essentially completely useless, so don't do that. But yeah, that's it. Ana basically has no synergy with Sombra. Symmetra, on the other hand, is one of those odd sort of troll nanos that you don't expect to work out, and then suddenly there's this odd team kill flowing into your feed. Don't forget that Sim's Teleporter is a great way to get you up to the high ground that you might use to be able to see your entire team. Torbjorn in his brand new version with Overload will let him do some ridiculous damage. Other than that, he's mostly useless to you in terms of synergy. Tracer is alright in terms of Nano, but again her sporadic movements make it really hard to heal her, so much so that she's basically the opposite of synergetic with you. Widowmaker is kind of like Pharah, where she'll end up being fairly far away from you, and you're usually the only one that can provide the healing that she needs when she ends up needing it. Other than that, basically no synergy exists between Ana and Widow, you know, kind of like in the lore, huh. Winston can actually end up being really nice to Nano because of his ability to melt the backline with it. Other than that, his ultimate is really bad with DPS, and boosting it other than giving him the 50% damage reduction, well, he already has tons of HP, is kind of useless. So, good Nano when he's not using his ult, but essentially not so good Nano while he's using it. Don't forget that, like Deva, Winston is one of your priority targets for healing since he'll be harassing the backline for most of the time. Wrecking Ball surprisingly also has some pretty good synergy with you, just like Deva and Winston. Your healing is the exact kind of thing that they need as dive tanks, so keep your eye on them. Wrecking Ball also makes your life easier with his shielding, allowing you to restore his health while his shields take the damage for him. And a little fun fact there, apparently the shields that Wrecking Ball puts up doesn't actually give ultimate charge to the enemy, so use that to your advantage if you need him to get out of there. The fully charged Zarya with Nano Boost is, like Orisa, one of the scariest things you'll ever encounter in your life. If you've ever seen a pro Zarya with godlike tracking, you know that she can melt a squishy in half a second, and tanks take only up to 2 or 3 seconds at most. 285 damage per second with Nano, and you have a very scary Russian lady chasing you with a laser pointer. Right-clicking with max energy and Nano is also 180 damage, just putting it out there for everyone to know. And finally, we have Zenyatta. Zenyatta, like Symmetra, is one of the surprising choices for a Nano where it can either have basically no effect, or you can suddenly have Jonak on your team getting those sweet sextuplets. Obviously, he doesn't have much synergy with you at all, but at least he can give you a very small amount of healing when you need it. At least there's that, I guess. I mean, I hope you know I'm joking about the nanoing, unless you like giving your other supports heart palpitations, then, you know, by all means. Alrighty, that was all the heroes in the game currently and what Ana's synergy is like with them. As you probably guessed, this series is going to last a long time, and as a pilot episode, I hope this video brings in enough support to let me commit to making the rest of these. I know it's ambitious, but with your help I can make these for every single hero in the game. Yes, you heard me, every single one. All 28, I think that's the number we're currently at or whatever, but every single hero in the game, which will continue on as we have new heroes added. So, if you liked the video, don't forget to drop a like if you'd like to see more synergy guides for each and every hero, and make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next guide. This is Quarbit signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day.